Doing well, man. Excited to have you back on. So you're co-founder of RIP.FUN, which is bringing Pokemon pack opening experiences onto the internet. And I think we had you back on maybe the first day of the show, first week of the show at least. And
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been first day, but yeah, it was definitely first week.
yeah, and you guys I think had just launched your closed beta of the product. So you've been out now for a few months. So yeah, I mean, for people who haven't been paying attention, can you just kind of ground us in a quick overview of what the product is? And then we'd love to get into kind of what you've learned and what you're launching this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. So basically, RIP.FUN allows users to rip real, verifiable, authentic Pokemon packs online, digitally, all on chain. And this week, actually later today, we're going to be launching our marketplace. So officially, people will be able to trade and buy and sell cards from other people. One of the coolest things about that we're doing, kind of bringing people back to like the original experience of trading in real life, is you're going to be able to actually trade. So if I have a card, you have a card, we could swap cards. If you have a pack and I have a card, we could swap a pack for a card. I could put together trades like 3 packs in 1 card for your card or whatever the hell you want to do. You're going to be able to do that. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that'll be live later today. Yeah.
So maybe just catch us up on what the last few months have been like, and maybe some of the challenges, and would love to hear how adoption is going.
Yeah. So yeah, we started slow on purpose, simply because we have a very big sort of scaling problem to solve at our warehouse, and we've been scaling it up little by little, giving invite codes out every week. Also, we're going to be giving out like a bunch of invite codes mainly to users that are on the platform to give out to their friends and stuff. And it's going pretty good. We've sort of taken sort of every problem step by step. We're not trying to like do everything at once and launch all these features at once. Like, we're a relatively small team, and I mean, we've been learning a lot, especially about what users want and what they expect from us. Biggest thing that we're trying to solve now is basically sort of like the dilemma of like, so we have like instant rips and we have like your regular rips when people just like put them in the queue and we eventually rip them and they could redeem them online and on our platform. And we're trying to find the good balance of like, should we only open up those packs until they're gone and then we do instant rips? Should we still have open some instant rips and some from the queue? Even if the queue's a little bit slower, we'll have more instant rips. Sort of figuring that out and like finding a sweet spot has been interesting. And no, I mean, people are loving it so far. And what I noticed the most is in the patience they have, because there are times where the day, like, you have to wait 2, maybe even 3 days for your pack to go open. Now it's a little bit lower, but since we've scaled it a bit, but there was times where it was like 3 days, and people were very patient, and they were like, "I hate this, but I understand that I have to wait." Like,
Yeah, the group chat is literally just like endless memes of being like, when more instant packs.
Exactly. So it's good to see that. I mean, even though people like it, I feel like it's a little bit. It tells you that you have something good when people are able to live with certain flaws that you have currently, because they know that once those flaws are fixed, the core product is going to be like infinitely better than anything out there.
I'm curious, have there been any kind of surprising learnings from your 2 months in market, or like, things you thought would hit that haven't, or things that you thought were kind of random add-on features that people have really loved?
Yeah. So one of the things was like, I guess this was we focused a lot on trying to get the marketplace out, because that involved a lot of like smart contract work and a little bit more work than like regular features. And for a little bit, we were sort of neglecting other features that we wanted to do and stuff. And one of the things was like, for example, I guess people got so impatient that they built a leaderboard themselves. Like, one of our users just went out and made a leaderboard with one of our public APIs, and for everybody to use, because I guess they got so impatient that we weren't making a leaderboard. And that was pretty funny. That showed me that, like,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of that thing where it's like, well, a leaderboard, that is probably something we can do in like, I don't know, a day. Like, it's just like the UI, basically, backend's already done. You guys hear that?
Oh yeah.
Is that me?
Plug in your shit, Josh. I don't know if it's you or not though. Like we're good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's like an air raid siren you're starting talking about. I love it. You love it.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. That's like sort of something that maybe like takes a day of work. And I think it was sort of a little bit of a learning like experience when I realized like maybe sometimes it's good to just stop this feature that like we're working on for months to just like, okay, let's just put out something in the meantime to keep people like seeing new stuff coming and like keeping them excited rather than like, oh, this is coming in a month. Let me just like wait for a month. So that definitely just realized that. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like most people don't, you instead of just building software, you're also building, physical processes. You have a warehouse, you have physical goods you're moving around. It adds a ton more complication and timelines, I'm sure. I would love to understand how you guys have approached scaling the warehouse, what some of those challenges are, and maybe even just ground people in why you see that as such an important part of your product.
Yeah. Well, to start, I'll start by answering your last question, and that was like, so the reason we see it as such an important part of our product is we want to control the entire sort of chain line of from when people open packs to vaulting them to sending them out and all that. We want to have that fully under our control. We don't want to be dependent on third parties or services that can go down or places where stuff can happen and we don't really know what's going on, whatever it may be. We want to have full control over everything. And so that's why from day one, we're like, okay, we have to do this ourselves. We have to have our own warehouse. We have to store everything ourselves. We have to rip it all ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. And that was definitely a massive, massive sort of learning experience and learning curve and everything. Because both Joseph and I, my co-founder, we don't have like that much or any experience with any sort of like warehousing or vaulting or whatever it may be. So that took just like months of like just sitting in an empty warehouse of like, okay, what are we gonna do here? Like, oh, this is gonna go here, doing test runs, like, oh no, this has to go here, like just moving stuff around and figuring stuff out. And then when we started hiring our first employees, they also helped us figure it out too, because they were like, well, I don't like to do it like this. This should be like this, or faster if I do it like this or like that. So figuring out all those steps, it was a lot of fun, honestly. It's not something I've never done in my life. Like I've always had a dev job at my computer. I've never sort of dealt with stuff like that in real life. And that was pretty cool. And no, I think that's about scaling it. That's good. Just going to be an essential part of our product is that we have full control over it. So it also allows us to scale it a lot better. And how we're going to scale it is, I mean, short term, it's really just scaling up what we currently have, hiring more people, expanding the warehouse, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, the long term, that's not scalable to, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of users. So in the long term, we are looking at some sort of robotics, sort of automating a lot of the parts of the warehouse, so it all works sort of seamlessly. And I mean, we'll still obviously need people to overlook those robots, certain parts of the vaulting experience and everything. But yeah, I think automating is just going to be a massive, massive step that will like 100x the speed, the experience, everything on RIP.FUN.
I'm curious on the marketplace side. I think trading's awesome because it's a very social experience and just court a Pokemon. I think the listing and selling is great, but I could imagine a future where like having very liquid markets for these is actually just a massive improvement from what you can go do on eBay. So is that like, do you see a world where you can get there, or how are you thinking about kind of increasing liquidity on the marketplace?
Yeah, I think so. We have something that is actually much better than most marketplaces in a way, and it's that I mean, if you're dealing with graded cards, you're sort of assured that those cards have a certain standard, that they're in good condition, whatever it may be, or by the grade, whatever. Like those are sort of safe. But when dealing with ungraded cards, raw cards, you don't really know that. Like you could see a picture, but there could be a little scuff on the side of the picture, the angle, whatever. There's like all kinds of stuff when it comes to that. The good thing about RIP.FUN is you know where every single card comes from. You know that we're handling it. You know where it's vaulted. You have a scan of it because we scan every single card and it's available for you to see on the marketplace. Everything is like authentic and you could see everything. So that's a very big unlock for sort of compared to eBay or any other marketplace like that, because you're able to verify everything, you're able to see everything, which at the end of the day on eBay, that is one of the main issues. I think for me, biggest hurdles on eBay are fake stuff, shipping, which on RIP.FUN, if you don't want to, you don't have to get it shipped to your house. That's not something that you have to pay for. And then you could even get it graded without touching it, without doing anything. Well, you will be able to, sorry, in the future. And then, yeah, it's shipping and then fees too. So our marketplace is going to have a 2.5% fee on the seller. Compared to eBay or TCG Player or whatever, they have like anywhere from a 10% to 12%, 9% fee. So this is like much lower. So I think in one of the main ways that we'll get there is definitely just it's a UX upgrade. Like there's no we want to sort of, we don't want to push it onto people. We want it to come naturally to people, like realize, okay, there's no point of using eBay when we have this much better alternative. It's just sort of at the end of the day, or we hope that it ends up just being a marketing problem if we don't get there. It's just like, okay, people aren't understanding the message, they aren't using the platform because they don't actually get to use it, whatever it may be. But from a UX perspective, if you get to the platform, you will realize that it's a much bigger UX upgrade than anything else.
So did I get this right that you have some big feature announcements this week?
That's the marketplace, I think, right?
That's
it was the
Okay.
marketplace. We also announced multi-chain deposits. So you could deposit from most EVM chains. Solana is going to be coming very soon as well. And yeah, that was the main announcements. And then 2 days ago, we also got a bunch of instant rips, but those are sold out already. So.
I mean, how about
it was fun using it early on because I guess it was privileged in that there wasn't a whole lot of people using it. So I got a bunch of instant rips. So I was like, oh yes.
Yeah. How much? Like, what does volume look like? How many cards have you sold to date?
So currently we've sold, last time I checked was like yesterday, we've sold about 120,000 worth of packs. That is also like one of the main things is currently we only have newer sets that are anywhere from like $7 to $15, and then we sold a few that are like higher valued sets. Very soon we have a bunch of stuff that we're going to be adding that is sort of vintage sets. We have, well, I haven't said this anywhere, so I'm just gonna say it now. We have Jungle Unlimited, which is about $250 to $300 a pack, and then we have base set, which, if I remember correctly, is about $500 per pack or $400 per pack.
Damn.
So we're gonna have those on the platform, and I think that's also another thing. It's like those are also, because like to reach one of those packs, we have to sell like 20 of like the other one. So like that's also gonna like scale up volume a lot more, since we've only been selling stuff that are $7 to like $15. And then something that was pretty cool to see was that it was something, I think it was 90% of users that have an account on the platform have bought a pack. And also that the average spend per user, this was last week, I imagine it's similar now, but the average spend per user was about $150.
Wow, nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So with those, I know a big part of the business around these vintage packs is actually just buying and holding the packs, right? Like and opening is necessary. That's something we can do on your platform, right?
Yeah.
Warehouse sales running it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people that came to me and were like, the main reason they wanted to use the platform was as an investment vehicle. So they just wanted to buy a bunch of Pokemon packs and just hold them there, and eventually, if they want to, they could just resell them on the platform. This is infinitely easier, especially for someone that is not familiar in the Pokemon world and they have to like order these things, store them in their house, like whatever. Like you don't need to do anything. You just with 5 clicks of a button, you've invested in Pokemon packs, and then with a few other clicks, you could sell them whenever you want.
Nice. Well,
new invite codes, new merch, new product coming out soon.
I think the marketplace is a huge upgrade because I think one of the most awesome things was opening a pack and just immediately seeing prices on there versus like, buying a pack and having to go and find market value for them. So now being able to actually exercise that and sell packs is an awesome.
Yeah, and we're also going to be having buybacks quite soon too, probably next month. So that'll be fun.
Awesome.
More things coming. All right, brother. We'll leave it there. Thanks for hopping on, being a repeat guest. Gonna be cool to see you and check in 6 months to see where you guys are at.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Cheers, man.